Now on 4 News Now at 6, new body camera video shows what led up to the moment a Spokane police officer shot a man.
Oh, God. Stop. Oh, God. Stop moving. Okay.
We'll break down the chaotic scene.
Make your weekend plans. I'm tracking the next round of rainy weather. I'll help you plan around the showers in the First Alert forecast.
And after 60 years on the air, a Pullman public broadcasting station is going dark. Why KWSU is shutting down and what this could mean for viewers on the Palouse. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. We are continuing to follow breaking news. Here is a live look of I-90 in downtown Spokane. Since 5 o'clock, traffic on eastbound I-90 is moving once again, but not greatly, it looks like. Traffic came to a crawl when a car crashed near the Hamilton Street exit, blocking the right lane. No word yet on what led up to that crash.
And right now, the Mariners are hoping to bounce back and take Game 4 against the Toronto Blue Jays. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dice. The M's are still just 2 wins away from making their first World Series appearance in franchise history. At last check, it's still scoreless. In the bottom of the second inning, the M's put 2 men on in the first before Jorge Polanco grounded into an inning-ending double play. Win or lose, Sports Director Jack Wallace will have highlights from tonight's game on Nightside starting at 11 o'clock.
Well, Spokane police just released body camera footage of an officer shooting a man in the East Central neighborhood.
The incident happened in February, but the investigation is still being reviewed by the Spokane County Prosecutor's Office. Derek Strom is in studio to break down what this footage shows. Derek.
Kirsten, Spokane Police says its officers were doing an emphasis patrol near the Hart Terrace Apartments in East Central. They ran the license plate of a truck parked at the apartments and found it was registered to 60-year-old Robert Botson. Botson was wanted for failing to register as a sex offender, and we want to warn you, some viewers may find this video disturbing. The body camera footage from February 9th shows officers approaching Botson and calling him by his middle name Charles. Botson tells officers he's not Charles, and then the officers tell him to put his hands behind his back. Botson struggles with the officers, but he's eventually wrestled to the ground.
Gun! Stop reaching! Put your hands out, I'm gonna kill you! Don't stop reaching! I'll shoot you right now! You good? He's got a gun. Ow, I can't breathe. Stop reaching! Okay, I can't breathe. I will shoot you!
Spokane police officers say Botson had a gun while they were pinning his arms and legs on the ground. Botson's gun was apparently under him, and he kept telling officers he couldn't breathe. Officers kept telling Botson to stop moving, and one officer decided to shoot Botson.
Stop moving! I'm just... Oh, God! I can't... Okay. Please stop me! Oh, God. Oh, God.
It appears he was shot in the side. A third officer eventually responded, and Botson was picked up and carried away from where he was shot. Afterwards, police say he was taken to a hospital to be treated. Washington State Patrol investigated the incident and says it completed that investigation on September 17th. The case is now in the hands of the Spokane County Prosecutor's Office, which tells me it's still reviewing the incident. Spokane Police says the officer who shot Botson will be named at a later date. In studio, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
All right, thank you, Derek. A lot of frost on my front lawn this morning. I don't know about you, Derek.
I woke up in Seattle after that terrible Mariners game from last night. So, yeah, did not have frost
the same
here in town. But Chris Crocker is joining us now to tell us what it could be like the rest of the week.
Well, tomorrow morning will not be as crisp. You'll still see some frost in spots, but we're bringing some clouds in. Nature's blanket will keep temperatures a little bit warmer overnight than they have been on the past clear nights. Our sunset has already occurred. It was at 5:59. Our first time in the 5 o'clock hour, and our temperature currently is 53 degrees. Here come the clouds. We have a weak disturbance passing through right now. We'll be mostly to partly cloudy skies overnight and start the day off tomorrow with some clouds. Just a few isolated sprinkles coming out of those clouds. I have not been able to confirm any of that is reaching the ground that we're seeing on radar. There'll be plenty of additional chances for some wet wet weather coming up in the 7-day forecast. But first, your Friday planner will start the day off with some clouds. 38 degrees, our morning low, and then winds pick up a little bit in the afternoon. Wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. High of 58 is exactly average, and there'll be some sunshine involved. I'll be back to tell you about the wet weather on the way in just a few minutes.
Well, Spokane County is easing up on its fire restrictions. Starting at midnight, burn bans will be lifted. That means outdoor recreational fires, including campfires, will once again be allowed in unincorporated areas as well as in Spokane and Spokane Valley. Backyard barbecues, fire pits, and patio warmers are also good to go. Officials remind residents that the Spokane Regional Clean Air Agency can still temporarily restrict burning if smoke levels rise.
Well, a closure along Freya Street on the South Hill in Spokane will last a little longer than anticipated. The closure between 21st and 13th Avenues was originally set to end October 24th, but the city of Spokane says the project is now extended by about 15 working days. Officials say the delay is not related to the local 302 union strike earlier this year and didn't specify a specific reason for the extension, but the work includes replacing aging water main lines and reconstructing curbs, sidewalks, driveways, and ADA ramps. Now expected to wrap up the week of November 3rd. 60 years of broadcasting ends this winter in Pullman. As the new year arrives, viewers tuning into Channel 10 KWSU will find it off the air.
Federal funding cuts are forcing this decades-old PBS station to shut down. Hunter Bertram visited KWSU today to show us what this means for the area.
For about 60 years, homes here in Pullman, Washington have received public broadcasting through KWSU. However, at the end of the year, when the clock strikes midnight, turning to 2026, the station will go dark.
When I say it's a sad day, I don't say that lightly. It is something that we talked a lot about. It's a hard decision to make.
Washington State University and Northwest Public Broadcasting delivered the news this week. KWSU TV will shut down. It's part of a national trend we're seeing.
Across the country, several PBS stations have recently closed or scaled back operations due to similar financial pressures.
Northwest Public Broadcasting operates KWSU. It lost $2 million in federal funding this year, and KWSU costs $1.8 million a year to operate.
These are hard conversations to have, and nobody wants to be where we are. But as you know, journalism is an expensive endeavor, and good journalism is really expensive.
Senator Maria Cantwell criticized the cuts, saying in part, at a time when we need more local journalism, now is not the time for short-sighted funding cuts.
However, it's important to know that despite KWSU's closure, people here in Pullman will still be able to receive public broadcasting.
KSBS, aired out of Spokane, is Pullman's primary PBS station. KWSU could only carry 25% of that primary PBS programming as a secondary station. As for what happens to KWSU as it winds down,
the bandwidth, the signal, they have financial value to them. Washington State University is a license holder for KWSU, for Northwest Public Broadcasting more broadly. And I suspect that the Board of Regents eventually will vote to sell those things that are value.
In Pullman, Hunter Bertram for News Now.
And still ahead, for one Spokane dad, a long walk with the stroller leads to peace of mind.
Most of the time during that walk, they're smiling because they know that I'm dropping them off somewhere that they love to go.
We'll show you how Vanessa Behan provides a safe space for families and helps break the cycles of abuse and homelessness.
Plus, helping the community one job at a time. See how Dignified Workday is teaching people new skills while giving them a second chance. That's next on 4 News Now.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV. 4 News Now is brought to you by Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical.
Here's the play. Stanton Optical makes glasses in 30 minutes. Come on, turn! Michael, catch! I can see! You did it! I did it! 30-minute glasses? Now that's an easy play. Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
We wanted to switch to T-Mobile to make sure that we have better coverage.
T-Mobile is now the best network. And with T-Satellite, we're connecting millions of people in places no carrier tower can reach.
I signed up for T-Satellite to give me peace of mind as a mom that makes life better knowing that it's there when we need it.
Upgrade to the best network and see how you can save up to 20% versus AT&T and Verizon when you check the math at T-Mobile.com. Plus, your experience plan is guaranteed for 5 years.
Style or substance? Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR plus no monthly payments until next year on select Sierra 1500 models. See your local GMC dealer.
Did you know that Spokane Hyperbaric Center uses oxygen to reduce pain, inflammation, and swelling?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that hyperbaric oxygen therapy promotes new blood vessel growth, fights infection, and releases more stem cells from your bone marrow?
I didn't know that.
Would you like to know if Spokane Hyperbaric Center is the right choice for you? Go to hyperbarichope.com to find out.
Spokane Hyperbaric Center gave us hope. And now you know.
I'm a real wild one. Some days are the fun days. The days you get to go wild. Which makes the Ford Ranger perfect for you. Made to haul. Made for the trail. And made for any wild idea you've got. Get a wild deal on a Ranger today. Lease a 2025 Ford Ranger Super Crew 4x4 for just $279 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Stanton Optical believes eye care should be affordable. Right now, for only $135, you get 2 pairs of progressives, plus all this. All that costs over $200 everywhere else. Book your eye exam today. Stanton Optical, easy's our thing.
Crews with the Spokane nonprofit Dignified Workday are fixing up the Redemption Church near 3rd and Division. When renovations are finished, the building will become their new headquarters.
It's a more centralized location for their workers to meet, and it has a bigger outdoor space for projects, but a bigger space will only solve so many problems. Mary Sheridan explains how the organization aims to fill the community's rising needs for employment.
Employees at Dignified Workday can work on all kinds of jobs. They do construction work and painting, and every day the city of Spokane pays a crew to clean up the streets. For Autry Stills, each day is a learning opportunity.
I've learned to run the scissor lifts here.
Oh, wow.
I've learned to run the Bobcat. I'm pretty much a lead.
Program manager Kathy Hammond says that's exactly why this work is empowering.
The common misconception that we hear all the time that our workers hear is that homeless people do not want to work. And that is absolutely false.
Dignified Workday employs people who may have had a hard time holding a job, whether that's due to housing insecurity, struggles with addiction, or justice involvement. They say the program has been successful. In the past year, 14 participants have transitioned to permanent jobs and were able to secure stable housing.
We got a good family here.
And the family has room to get a lot bigger.
One of their current projects is the Collins building behind me. Workers from Dignified Workday are renovating it to become workforce low-income housing.
But the nonprofit has their sights set on bigger goals. Right now, they have around 65 employees, but they've got more than 500 people on their wait list, but not enough projects for them to work on. The nonprofit is continuing to look for more public and private contracted projects for employees who want to contribute to their community.
This is a program we're doing real valuable work people need, and people are really happy with what we offer.
They show up every day, they work hard, they're proud of their contribution, they're proud of the work that they're doing.
In Spokane, Mary Sheridan, 4 News Now.
Mostly cloudy skies this evening will keep our temperatures from dropping too fast. We'll be in the 40s still at 11 o'clock with partly cloudy skies. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast and the rain on the way.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Northwest Granite.
The redesigned Tiguan is here, and it's turning heads. Luxury meets functionality with new styling that includes elevated interior design and smarter tech. Take a test drive at Post Falls Volkswagen, home of 0000.
BECU's free Shred and E-Cycle event is back. On October 25th, bring your sensitive documents you'd like to purge to the Spokane Arena and we'll shred them for free.
We'll also e-cycle laptops, TVs, and other electronic devices safely.
Consider bringing some cans of food or cash donations for our Shred Day partners in Lynn Northwest.
Let's clear the clutter and recycle responsibly
At BECU's Shred Day and E-Cycle event.
From 9 to 1, October 25th at the Spokane Arena.
Do you think both of these tiles would work in my bathroom?
Tired of a big box service?
At Caruso's Floors, we've kept Spokane covered for over 80 years.
Right now, during our fall sale, it's a great time to check out our selection of quality Karastan products.
Caruso's Floors.
Avamere Southfield is so much more than just a home. We're enhancing lives every single day.
My home was heaven on earth, and now Avamere is heaven on earth.
Everybody's very friendly here and welcoming.
Come visit us and experience the Avamere difference.
You probably have a few things lying around collecting dust, right? Why not donate them to UGM thrift stores? Your donation isn't just stuff. It's hope for those facing homelessness and addiction. Some items go straight to our shelters to meet pressing needs. Others are carefully prepped, priced, and placed in our stores, awaiting a new, loving home. And every dollar provides meals, safe shelter, and other life-changing services. Whether you donate or shop at UGM thrift stores, you're making a difference right here in the Inland Northwest.
Looking for space, style, and serious performance? You'll find it all in a Volkswagen Atlas. 3 rows equals room for everyone. And turbocharged power means this SUV is built for fun. Take a test drive at Post Falls Volkswagen.
Tomorrow morning, guess who's guest co-hosting the second hour of GMA?
I'm no George Stephanopoulos. I'm not on that level.
Yes, it's Stephen A. and GMA. Get ready for this.
I'm on Good Morning America.
Tomorrow on Good Morning America.
What people expect of moms is like, no matter what, you gotta just like keep going, which is great and all, and I'd love to. But then I'm not a great parent if I keep doing that for too long. I get crankier, they pick up on it, they get crankier, and it just gets worse, like it spirals.
This mom is one of thousands of parents in Spokane seeking help inside the doors of Vanessa Behem. The facility operates 24/7. It's a safe place for kids to stay, play, and sleep in a warm bed. In the last year, Vanessa Behem has had more than 7,000 visits from kids, and more than 20% of those families were experiencing some form of homelessness. As Kirsten O'Connor reports, it's a resource that's committed to breaking the cycle.
As new parents, we get lots of advice, but one thing that seems to stick is take them outside. It's a cure to fussiness. And for one dad of 2, he likes to load his boys up in the stroller and walk them from all the way up here at Sacred Heart down to Sprague as part of that cure.
Most of the time during that walk, they're smiling because they know that I'm dropping them off somewhere that they love to go.
If you think back to those early days of parenting, that's what it's all about, making your kids smile.
And it was all, just purely instinct. I think a lot of new parents feel the same way.
Gavin MacArthur and his 2 boys are still finding their way.
I've never had a driver's license. I do not drive. I rely on public transportation most of the time, and that's when I'm able to afford it.
Gavin was 20 when his first son was born. About a year later, he became a father of 2.
I had gone through a crisis shortly after my first kid was born, started to pile up, and it felt like it was too much to deal with between me and them, and their mother wasn't in the picture at the time, so it made it very, very difficult.
But Gavin was built on resilience. He grew up at a children's home in Spokane Valley called the Hutton Settlement. At 18, he moved out on his own.
And fell flat on my face, to be honest.
Breaking the cycle of fear, abuse, and homelessness is part of Vanessa Behem's vision. It's a place where moms and dads can drop off their children at a safe place and avoid any situation that could turn abusive or violent.
There were times when I thought I was on the verge of a psychotic break. I was having manic episodes for a while, and I had to get mental health treatment for it. And
at the end of that long walk, what do you really want for your kids? Safety, security, smiles.
And without Vanessa Behem, I don't honestly think that I would have my children today. Or, it would at least, I would probably be visiting them at a children's home themselves.
I told Gavin just how important it is to hear from somebody who will talk about having a crisis and going to Vanessa Behan. Last year, 4,000 of those calls, those parents who really needed help at Vanessa Behan had to be turned away.
All right, so what's stopping them from helping more families?
And it's just staffing. That's all it is. And that's what we're going to be raising money for at the Pumpkin Ball this Saturday. We are going to be getting as much support as we can so that they can staff up that building. It's a huge facility. You both have been in there. And they can help that many children in our area. They just need to be able to pay people to be providers.
Well, we are rooting for Gavin. What a story, and thankfully Vanessa Behan there to help in that case. Let's take a look at our weather now. We are looking at temperatures in the mid-50s, excuse me, in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, with mostly cloudy skies after a pretty day for most of the day. A lot of sunshine. The clouds are moving in. Those will keep our temperatures a little bit warmer overnight. 4 things to know about your weather. It is going to be a breezy Friday. Dry most of the day on Saturday. Great day to rake the leaves that fly around on Friday. Great day to get that fall fertilizer in before it rains Saturday night. And it will. And that will continue into a wet and windy Sunday. Looks like the steady rains will mainly be Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then we'll get more showery precipitation. I'll show you in just a moment. Friday's highs will be just a little bit warmer than they were today. We will be in the mid-50s in Spirit Lake, but some 60s on the map, including 61 in Meade and downtown, and 62 in 9 Mile, 58 in Spokane, as well as in Coeur d'Alene. Will be 58 in St. Mary's, 69 in Lewiston, and also lots of 60s in the Columbia Basin and up through the Waterville Plateau, 63 in Omak. Our forecast radar shows those clouds moving through right now. Those will continue to be in and out of the clouds through the overnight before we clear out tomorrow morning for some sunshine. Then as we get into Friday afternoon, here's Friday at 3, a weak disturbance drops down and brings a chance of a few isolated showers over North Idaho. That won't last long. We're going to start off Saturday with dry conditions. Here's 8 o'clock Saturday morning. Clouds will have already moved in, but the precipitation's going to take its time, and we will start to see that as early as late afternoon. More likely, it looks like it will be in the evening, and it will rain all night, and it will continue raining through early Sunday morning. Here's Sunday at 6 a.m. Most of the wet weather to the south and east by then, but we will see showers continuing, especially in the afternoon on Sunday. By Sunday night, some impressive rainfall totals possible, especially through North Idaho. Could see an inch of precipitation in Sandpoint, close to that in Kellogg. A ½ inch will be common elsewhere around the region. Good beneficial rains. Breezy conditions on Friday, windy on Sunday with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. And that will certainly knock a few leaves off the trees. Breezy and 58 Friday, 58 on Saturday. We're going to stay in the 50s through most of the 7-day forecast. We will be drying out, however, as we get into Monday and through at least the middle of next work week. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. 2 candidates went head-to-head to earn a seat on the Spokane City Council. Here are their approaches on cleaning up the streets of Spokane coming up.
Plus, kids learn a lot in school, but some of the most important lessons happen after the bell rings. We'll show you how a new program is turning everyday spaces into places for playful learning and why it could change the way children grow and connect. That's next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
From your head and shoulders, down to your toes, and everywhere in between. Kootenai Health provides advanced medicine right where you need it, right here in North Idaho.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show, like you've never seen it before, with the original Columbia, Nell Campbell, live and in person for a screening of the original unedited movie with a live shadow cast and filled with audience participation. All this plus a VIP meet and greet. costume contest with great prizes and more. The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Coming to the First Interstate Center for the Arts October 26th. Get tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Do you have old or unused medication? Keep your loved ones safe by disposing of your unneeded medications at a drop-off location. It's a simple way to make your home safer and to help prevent misuse or accidental poisoning. Find a secure take-back kiosk near you at medtakebackwashington.org.
At Parker Toyota, Toyota trucks aren't just vehicles, they're a tradition built on performance, reliability, and unmatched durability. That legacy lives on in every new Tundra and Tacoma, powered by innovation, loaded with advanced technology, and ready for whatever the Northwest brings.
The same high standards that built these legendary trucks guide our customer service because tradition isn't just preserved, it's lived.
Toyota trucks, built for generations at Parker Toyota in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
Kerner Furniture is blessed to have called the Inland Northwest home for the past 46 years.
We've also been blessed to help furnish your homes these past 4 decades.
And to celebrate our 46th year, we are having an anniversary sale.
Shop our selection of living room, dining room, and bedroom sets, all at lowered sale pricing.
And if you're looking for a lazy boy, then start here because we always guarantee the lowest prices in the area.
Celebrate 46 years of Kerner Furniture during our anniversary sale.
Going on now.
Is there a sport your kids haven't suited up for? Luckily, when it comes to providing advanced care for your family, there isn't a sports injury Kootenai Health hasn't seen. Find your specialist at kh.org.
4 News Now is brought to you by Orchard Crest Retirement and Assisted Living.
Welcome back. Kids spend about 6 to 7 hours a day in school, but what about the rest of the time?
Yeah, experts say play outside the classroom can be just as crucial for a child's growth. And one organization is working to make sure every kid has access to that kind of playful learning. ABC's Christiane Cordero explains.
Kids may be in school for 6 to 7 hours a day, but a majority of their time is spent outside of the classroom.
They're learning when they're not in school. They're learning a lot of things, like how do I share the swing with Johnny, who got on the swing before I did, but I really, really want that swing. When you're playing Foursquare, you're learning math.
It's called playful learning, a research-backed approach that combines the joy of play with goal-driven learning. Education experts say playful learning builds skills like collaboration, confidence, and communication.
One of the things I think we've lost over time, especially with the influx of screens, and more screens, is that we don't talk to each other anymore. At the bus station, everyone's like this. On the bus, everyone's like this. No one's speaking. No wonder. We are the most anxious generation. Our brains are meant to be social, full stop. And we're robbing people of social interaction.
Playgrounds and museums can be great for socializing and critical thinking, but not all kids have the same access to these types of places, which is why a new pilot program, Live and Learn, is bringing playful learning to affordable housing. And they're proving that you don't need to have a lot of money or square footage to create something really interactive. The idea is to integrate the playful learning into the design plan.
We knew there were going to be 3 tables in the community room space. The community co-designed with our designers activity tables. The request from the community was one would have chess or checkers.
Another activity table has prompts for storytelling where kids can pick a character, a setting, and a scenario.
They should go to school.
At the entry of this building, games were built into the architecture.
Run the Road was a theme that came directly from the community. The community was very interested in teaching their children about navigating through the neighborhood and through the city.
And in this backyard, an underutilized bike shed got a simple but impactful upgrade with puzzles to learn spelling and a stage for kids to put on shows.
I know my 2 grandchildren, they love to play, so while we're playing, they ask questions. They want to know, like the cheetah, how fast does the cheetah run? 75 miles per hour. So there's an opportunity for them to learn, which they love to learn.
Live and Learn hopes these pilot sites are a model for playful learning installations nationwide. Christiane Cordero, ABC News.
Well, a silo collapse in Illinois left many without power.
We'll show you the moment over 30,000 bushels of soybean came crashing down and have a check-in on the Seattle Mariners score. That's next in sports.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
Celebrating 80 years in business with discounts for the decades. Up to 80% off store-wide and new furniture collections. The Tin Roof, locally owned, locally loved since 1945.
Nearly 2 years ago, 75% of Spokane voters approved Prop 1, a measure to ban public camping near schools, parks, and childcare centers. But our elected officials have done nothing to stop the camping. Crime and open drug use have only gotten worse, much worse. Kate Tellis is on record opposing the will of the voters on Prop 1. But Alejandro is for stopping criminal activity on our streets, while offering real help to those in need. So please, vote Alejandro for Spokane City Council.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR plus no monthly payments until next year on select Sierra 1500 models.
ShopDaveSmith.com.
Scouting America prepares young people for life by helping them grow in confidence, discover new skills, experience the outdoors, all while learning the importance of leadership and service.
Here in the Inland Northwest, we serve over 2,000 boys and girls. Through the end of October, our Scouts are running their annual popcorn sale. For just $20, you can help send a kid to camp or on their next adventure.
Namerica is honored to donate $1,000 to Scouting America. This is how Namerica cares for kids.
When it comes to taking care of your car, trust the family-owned service department that puts you first. At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we don't just fix cars, we keep your family safe on the road. With no hidden fees or surprise charges, you'll always know exactly what you're paying for. And with us, you only pay a 6% tax on parts, never on labor. Come to Coeur d'Alene Honda, where quality service meets honest pricing every time. Call us to schedule an appointment today.
Celebrating 80 years in business with discounts for the decades. Up to 80% off store-wide and new furniture collections. The Tin Roof, locally owned, locally loved since 1945.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
All right, the Seattle Mariners dropped Game 3 of the ALCS last night. I don't have to tell Derek, he was there. But they still lead the series 2-1.
Yeah, 13-4 loss isn't a huge setback as Game 4 is going down right now in Seattle.
And today presents a critical shot for the Imps to take that commanding 3-1 series lead. And it's the third inning. Well, I think the third inning just finished. Right now, bottom of the third. And the score is 3-1. A score-starting Josh Naylor home run. Then Andres Jimenez bounced back with a 2-run home run. That third run, though, was a bases-loaded walk, but fortunately Seattle just now getting out of that jam. So we'll see if they can bring a little more of the comeback on offense, get it rolling, and see if they can get a win. We'll have those highlights coming up on 4 News Now Nightside. Seattle Kraken are also in action tonight. They're out east at the Ottawa Senators. Score was 3-2 as I walked on set. Now it's 3-3. Ottawa evening the game. We're very late in this one, only about 3 or 4 minutes last I checked. We'll have highlights from the Canadian Tire Center. Pretty fun one there in Ottawa coming up on Nightside. And the Zags have one of the toughest non-conference schedules across college hoops this season, and one of their marquee games now has a set time. Gonzaga is tipping off against the Oregon Ducks at 3 p.m. on December 21st. The game is at the Moda Center in Portland and has the brand of the Northwest Elite Showdown. Pretty fitting. First meeting between these two programs since the 2019 to 2020 season, which you're watching right now, is the 27th all-time meeting. Fun fact, a majority of those duels were before 1950. Their first game, 1912. Oregon made the NCAA tournament last season. They fell to Arizona in the round of 32. And Washington State football is in for a pretty tough challenge with the number 18 Virginia Cavaliers this weekend. The Hoos are one of college football's surprise stars this year, and plenty of their success comes through quarterback Chandler Morris, once the TCU backup quarterback in their national championship game run. Now he's led Virginia to a 5-1 start in a top 10 upset over Florida State, and WSU head coach Jimmy Rogers spoke this week about Morris and what the Cougs need to do to slow him down.
At the big plays, we got to tackle better in space. We got to kind of manage the quarterback. I think the quarterback's a really good player, and he does a really good job of making the most of the plays when they break down, that he can still keep his eyes down the field when he scrambles, and then his legs will kill you. He's running past. They played a bunch of quality opponents so far, and he's running past them. So we got to do a good job of being able to tackle him in space, but also not give him the explosive pass plays as well.
Morris ranks third in the ACC in quarterback rating and ranks as the second best rushing QB in the conference, right behind Georgia Tech's Haynes King. Cougs get their shot to take him and the ranked Cavaliers down when they travel to Charlottesville this Saturday. Now, if the Cougs come out on top, it'll be their first ranked road win since September 2022. That was at Wisconsin. And game of the week, your last shot to get your votes in. It's tomorrow, Colville at Rogers, choice number 1. That's One Spokane Stadium at 5 p.m. Choice 2 is Cheney at Meade up at Union Stadium, then Post Falls at Coeur d'Alene in our Idaho game. Make sure to cast your vote. We only have about an hour and a half left. It's on KXLY.com right now, so polls again 8 p.m. tonight. They're checking. And I've checked these polls so far for game of the week. It is the tightest race of the season so far. It's almost a dead even with all three. So I'm excited to see which one's going to win there. And Ferris versus Mount Spokane coming up in just a few minutes. We'll be there.
My phone's been lighting up with updates from my wife. So, all right, Jack, thank you. Well, Spokane voters will soon decide who they want to fill 3 different seats on the city council. But out of all the races, only one has no incumbent, and the 2 candidates vying for the seat are both Democrats.
So you might think it would be tough for the 2 to stand apart, but today they made their differences clear on the debate stage. Alexandra Cohen-Yard shares why each of them thinks they are the best fit for the position.
District 2 covers the southern part of Spokane. Alejandro Barrientos and Kate Tellis made their case today about why they think they're best fit to represent that district on city council.
My top priorities is public safety, which should be the top priority of our local government.
I just want to see an environment that's doing well. I want to see people that are thriving, a downtown that is thriving.
This businessman and former prosecutor that are both running for city council actually share similar goals. Both believe Spokane needs better infrastructure to accommodate fast growth. Both believe something needs to be done to make the city feel safer. But their approaches towards getting there is where they differ.
I will champion on bringing back Prop 1.
Prop 1 didn't work. We don't have room in the jails.
Prop 1 banned camping within 1,000 feet of schools, parks, and daycare facilities. It passed overwhelmingly in 2023. But the state Supreme Court recently shut it down, claiming it isn't a decision for the people to make, but rather our local jurisdictions. And according to Barrientos, the choice our city leaders ended up making was not the right one.
We needed to make sure that we restore the trust in local government by reinstating what they asked for and working directly with them on policies that could help get people off the street into the services that they most need.
But Tellis persists that the original anti-camping ban didn't provide the services homeless people need.
That is the goal, is to address people's root causes of what brings them into homelessness and actually provide the cure, not the Band-Aid.
While the 2 have doubts for how committed the other one would be to working across party lines, both pledge that this is something they would focus on in office. In Spokane, Alexandra Cohen-Yards, 4 News Now.
And this was the second time candidates for Spokane City Council have gone head-to-head. You can stream both of them this Sunday on the KXLY Plus app for your connected TV, starting at 9 o'clock.
Let's send it over now to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker with your first alert forecast.
We had some clouds move in this afternoon and this evening, sort of a gray sunset, which set at 5:59 today. It is 53 degrees presently. Our high temperatures today, we're running just a couple of degrees below average, but seasonable. 56 in Spokane, 55 in Coeur d'Alene. Mid-50s, very common throughout the region. We did get into the 60s in Lewiston and Moses Lake, also 60 degrees in Omak. It's going to be a warmer night thanks to these clouds that are moving in right now, and they'll be with us for most of the night. We'll be partly to mostly cloudy, and to start the day tomorrow as well. Hour by hour, your Friday forecast, mostly cloudy and 38 to start the day. We are going to see some clearing as we get into mid-morning. 47 degrees at 10 o'clock. We'll be in the 50s by noon, mid-50s by noon, topping out at a high of 58, which is exactly average. Winds will begin to pick up right around 1 o'clock. We'll start to see wind gusts in the the 25-mile-per-hour range, but they'll be dying down as we head into Friday evening. And the skies will be clearing, but not for long. I'll tell you about rain on the way for the weekend in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. A judge has temporarily blocked an order from the Trump administration that could lead to funding cuts to the federal food assistance program known as SNAP. Earlier this year, President Trump signed an executive order that requested the Department of Agriculture to have full access to information for states that receive federal funding. 21 states, including Washington, sued the Trump administration to block the order. Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown writing, "The last thing people struggling to put food on the table need to worry about is the federal government demanding access to their private information." The department has threatened to cut funding to states that refuse to share that information. AG Brown says any delay in funding could be catastrophic for those who rely on it.
Well, by now you may have seen these colorful benches at bus stops across Spokane. They've been there for about 3 weeks since they went in, and today the organization responsible for them is calling on Spokane Transit Authority to make its bus stops safer and more comfortable. Madeline Mullins shares what STA says it has planned for improving the bus stops.
Recently, one night, 29 bus stops in Spokane mysteriously received a bench. They were not put in by the city or STA, but rather Spokane Reimagined.
We saw a lot of people sitting on the sidewalk or even in the street while they're waiting for a bus, and we saw that this was really dangerous, and we want the community to do more things about it.
The organization took matters into its own hands and says the response has been nothing but positive.
We've gotten messages from so many different people on all sides of town and visitors that want to be involved in making more benches and painting them.
But Spokane Reimagined says so far it has not received the response it wants from STA.
We haven't heard a whole lot from STA quite yet, other than they like the benches.
At Thursday's STA board meeting, the organization called on leaders once again to improve bus stop infrastructure. Spokane Reimagined says that these benches cost around $60 to make. It asks that STA put in cheap temporary benches at bus stops while plans for permanent structures are made.
First and foremost, stop seeking excuses to not do something.
This is an excellent opportunity to kick off new leadership here and set a new tone for how STA listens to its riders.
STA wrote in an email that adding a bench and an accompanying shelter would cost $12,000 each and can only be placed at stops that see an average of 25 passengers a day. It says right now it's working to install lights at existing covered bus stops. But they say adding more benches is a recommendation in its 30-year strategic plan. Spokane Reimagined argues riders can't wait and that cheaper, temporary benches should be installed now. In Spokane, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
Well, investigative genetic genealogy technology linked Brian Kohberger to the murders of 4 University of Idaho students in November of 2022. That same technology helps Spokane area law enforcement solve decades-old cold cases. Texas-based Othram Incorporated analyzes DNA from crime scenes, creating genetic profiles that identify suspects and victims who remained nameless for years.
And we were able to deliver a profile for the unknown person, the suspect in this crime, within days. And investigators started working on it alongside of us, within days. And then within weeks, there were leads. And by the end of December, there was an arrest.
While investigators can find DNA just about anywhere, law enforcement can only access DNA from databases where users give permission, not from commercial sites like Ancestry or 23andMe. To see how many victims have been identified by using DNA in our area, watch Robin Nance's special report right now on KXLY.com.
Well, still ahead, your morning coffee could soon cost you more. Why rising prices, tariffs, and supply issues are hitting your favorite cup, and how some shops are trying to adapt. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap & Associates.
Bill's Heating and AC has not 1, not 2, but 3 warehouses overstocked with tankless water heaters. To clear out inventory before the end of the year, we're doing something we've never done before. Advertising our guaranteed lowest pricing for all to see. Right now, you can get a tankless water heater installed for only $3,500 to $4,500, depending on the model. Call now before this amazing deal goes away. Call 208-777-5528.
Out here, no one hands you anything. Every log milled, every board stacked. That's all you. And your checking account should work just as hard. Ascend Checking from P1FCU earns you 3.5% APY with no monthly fees. No gimmicks, just rewards for the work you're already doing. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
At Parker Subaru, adventure doesn't wait. With a large inventory of Crosstreks, Outbacks, Foresters, and Ascents, your Subaru is ready right now.
New or used, Subaru has delivered decades of legendary longevity, rock-solid reliability, and award-winning safety.
With the Subaru Wilderness Package, our compact SUVs deliver unstoppable performance to every trail for every season.
Outdoor season never ends in the Northwest, and Parker Subaru has the vehicles built to handle it all right here in beautiful.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm the Education Coordinator for Wastewater and Stormwater. Today we're going to be talking about dog poop. You might be thinking it's like fertilizer, but it's not. It's actually bad for our waterways and can contain bacteria like E. coli, and that's obviously a health hazard. So pick up after your pet to keep us all healthy and safe. To learn more about stormwater tips and city projects that are protecting our river, go to SpokaneStormwater.org.
Satellite. Mr. Control, do you copy?
Are we ready for it? Return of the Victoria's Secret Fashion Show. The most stunning models in the world back on the runway, wearing this year's most daring lingerie. Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Well, if you've noticed your morning coffee costing you a little bit more these days, you are not alone.
Yeah, retail coffee prices in the United States have jumped by more than 20% in August compared to just last year. CNN's Michael Yoshida explains what's causing prices to spike.
For many, coffee across the United States is getting more expensive.
We will have to do a price increase. There's no doubt about it.
Robert Peck, CEO and co-founder of Commonwealth Joe Coffee Roasters, says it's been a challenging year in the coffee industry, with costs rising and margins down.
Some people, we've already seen a shift. They're now buying beans and they're brewing coffee at home because that brings down their daily expense.
99% of all coffee consumed in the U.S. is imported, according to the National Coffee Association. And with many coffee bean growing countries slammed with tariffs by the Trump administration, including Brazil, the U.S.'s top supplier, which faces an import tax of 50%, big brands and small shops have been trying to absorb costs.
Because costs are high now. For the first time ever, we're thinking about, okay, well maybe let's just not print the gold on the inside because that could save us another couple of cents a bag. We're trying to get creative without changing the quality of the product inside, which is what consumers care about the most.
But it's not just tariffs causing trouble. Shipping costs are also rising, while bad weather and droughts in places like Brazil and Vietnam are impacting harvests and production. And when supply goes down, prices go up.
We may have to think about switching, from Brazil to a Honduran coffee or a Colombian coffee or a Mexican coffee. At the end of the day, if you're not running a profitable business, you're not going to be in business for very long.
In Washington, Michael Yoshida.
Oh my goodness, just as we're heading into serious coffee weather, because it is going to be cool to start the day tomorrow, although not quite as cool as it has been. 38 degrees and mostly cloudy in the morning. Then we clear out for a breezy afternoon, a high of 58. I'll be back with a good look at your weekend forecast. It's going to get wet. That's coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Welcome Broadway's Rock of Ages, the driving music force that rocked Broadway and millions of fans in the groundbreaking show Rock of Ages live in concert at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, November 20th. Get your tickets now.
Winning is just the beginning.
It's here, the Red Tag Model Year-End Clearance Event.
On now.
At R&R RV in Liberty Lake. Save thousands with factory discounts and clearance pricing. New travel trailers
From $15,990.
fifth wheels
From $39,990.
motorhomes
From $89,990.
Shop the Northwest's largest pre-owned RV inventory.
Prepped and ready to go.
Free parking, free admission, free food Friday and Saturday. The Red Tag Model Year-End Clearance Event.
On now.
At R&R RV in Liberty Lake or online at rnrrv.com.
powerful than an unexpected storm? Insurance that helps clean it up. Western National Insurance. That's the power of nice.
Finding new adventures. And extra confidence. And extra miles. And room for everyone. And standout style. And it all comes together in a Chevy SUV. Now, well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on 2026 Equinox models. Plus, no monthly payments for 90 days. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Now that summer is over and the kids are back in school, it's the perfect time to get some new flooring for your home or some stylish new cabinets before winter arrives from Northwest Granite and Cabinets.
At Northwest Granite, our showroom is packed full of great ideas. From stunning granite, marble and quartz countertops, to modern-looking wall panels, and a large selection of flooring options. Northwest Granite can help you design it and install it so you can enjoy it.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. I want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Where winning is just the beginning.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
All right, take a look at this wild video of a silo collapsing in Illinois. You can see it send dust and debris flying everywhere. Authorities say that silo, built in 1972, was filled with 30,000 bushels of harvested soybean when it failed. Photos after the incident showed the damage from all that weight crashing down. Broken power lines left the area without electricity. Thankfully, no one was hurt. I saw this on social media this morning, and it's one of those things that you look at first, and you're wondering if it's AI, like almost, right?
Oh,
like, because it just like looks so crazy, like something out of a movie.
As they're running away from it too, yeah, it did look like a movie.
Yeah.
Really, really terrifying.
Wow.
But yeah, again, thankfully, nobody was
That's
hurt.
the amazing thing.
Sure.
And but a lot of hard work for the farmers to waste. Hopefully they can salvage some soybeans.
Right.
We certainly think about our farmers around here because there's lots of them, and let's see if this weather will please them. I think we need rain. There's a sweet spot in here where they're trying to get the winter wheat in the ground where they don't want rain, so it's hard to keep up with the weather. But for farmers, breezy on Friday. No one ever likes it to be breezy, but it's going to be mostly dry the first part of the day on Saturday. If you have some work to do in your own yard, you'll probably need to do some raking after a breezy Friday. There's plenty more to come. Rain comes in Saturday night, a wet and windy Sunday, but as we get closer to time, it looks like a lot of the steady rain will be over Sunday morning, and then we'll get into more showery precipitation as the day goes on, but it will be windier with wind gusts stronger than those that we're going to have tomorrow. Tracking our weather pattern, we have a front coming through on Friday that is going to bring in the afternoon a few isolated showers to the mountains of North Idaho. It's going to pick up our winds. As we get into Saturday, we're going to be dry for the first part of the day. Here's 4 o'clock Saturday, but then the moisture with this approaching front moves in Saturday night and into Sunday. Snow levels look like they'll be fairly high, the highest mountain passes, but as this system gets closer, we'll get a better idea of where you might see some snow. I did a tour of all of the ski areas, sky cams today, and there's still some snow, even down at the lodge level, just about everywhere. Winds, meanwhile, tomorrow, breezy as we get into the afternoon with wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour, but it won't last for very long. It'll be about 3 hours of breezy conditions. Different on Sunday, winds, stronger sustained winds, higher gusts, and it will be a little bit longer lasting from late morning all the way through the early part of the evening. Temperatures, meanwhile, despite the changes in the precipitation, we're going to be staying just right about average through most of the 7-day forecast. Then we trend upward toward the end of the 7-day forecast, and the 8 to 14-day outlook does go along with that, putting us in those orange colors. What is confusing, though, is we don't frequently have above average precipitation and above average temperatures at the same time. The long range forecast calling for a fairly strong signal of that storm track impacting the northwestern United States. And again, we need it. Whether you're a farmer or a firefighter, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. A lot of activity over the next 3 days, then things quiet down heading into the middle of next week. Temperatures in the 50s up to 60 degrees, but there's a lot of inside time ahead this weekend, Kirsten.
Oh, I have family photos, so I'm gonna be in trouble. Yeah, I know. We'll talk about that later, Chris.
Yeah, I'll help you.
Hey, speaking of family events, looking for a little Halloween fun. Riverfront Park turning spooky this month. Riverfront Spokane is offering free ghost tours on the 23rd and 25th. Tours begin at 7 p.m. at the Visit Spokane Visitor Center and last until 9. And a local historian will guide you through the park after dark, sharing ghost stories and local legends. Ghost meters and lanterns are provided to make the experience even more thrilling.
All right, before we go to break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup for tonight.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
Celebrating 80 years in business with discounts for the decades. Up to 80% off store-wide and new furniture collections. The Tin Roof, locally owned, locally loved since 1945.
Nearly 2 years ago, 75% of Spokane voters approved Prop 1, a measure to ban public camping near schools, parks, and child care centers. But our elected officials have done nothing to stop the camping. Crime and open drug use have only gotten worse, much worse. Kate Tellis is on record opposing the will of the voters on Prop 1. But Alejandro is for stopping criminal activity on our streets, while offering real help to those in need. So please, vote Alejandro for Spokane City Council.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR plus no monthly payments until next year on select Sierra 1500 models.
See your local GMC dealer.
It's that time of year again for last chance end-of-season decking closeouts and fall flooring specials from the pros at Windsor Plywood.
It's time to shop, shop for wood.
Finish those decking projects at some of the biggest discounts of the year, or get your home ready for the holidays with new vinyl plank, hardwood flooring, or laminate flooring to make your home beautiful. Whatever you need, you can find it at
Windsor Plywood.
Today through this Monday, if you're hunting for the best selection of sporty used trucks and four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive SUVs,
we got them, and we are pricing them right to move them out.
Which means it's the perfect time to upgrade your vehicle to a better set of wheels before the winter months arrive. Bag a truck and save $1. Plus, this week, Cal is offering a minimum $2,000 trade-in for your old ride.
You want it? Cal's got it.
Celebrating 80 years in business with discounts for the decades. Up to 80% off store-wide and new furniture collections. The Tin Roof, locally owned, locally loved since 1945.
4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
Well, coming up tonight on Nightside, the Mariners are taking on the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 4 of the ALCS right now. So will the Blue Jays tie the series up, or will the Mariners take a commanding 3-1 lead? We'll have the full highlights for you tonight on Nightside starting at 11.
Here is hoping, Derek. Your planning forecast, breezy tomorrow, but should have some sunshine, especially as we get into the mid-morning, early afternoon.
That weekend, though. Not going to be good for the family photos. It's okay. We're going to make it.
Your pumpkin picking or whatever you might have planned. All right, we'll see you at 11. Go Ems.